How should Democrats approach Donald Trump?
Well, the reality, he's the president of the United States.
Yes.
He's going to want to do some terrible things, but he also might do some things we can work with him on. And we've got to be the party that's bigger than Trump. We've got to be the party that's willing to rise above politics to effectively counter his worst instincts, but also get things done for the American people when we can agree. And if we do that, we're going to win. We're going to win in the future. We're going to win in the midterms because we're going to show that he is extreme, that he wants to do things that are not constitutional, that are not bipartisan, and we're actually the party that's willing to work across the aisle to do what's best for the country.
You seem to be in the minority in that.
I'm often in the minority.
Okay, in the minority
okay.
of your own party.
Because
the minority of the minority. No, but is there a danger for Democrats if you oppose Trump on everything?
There's a huge danger. Then we just become the party of no. We don't have a positive vision for the future. People aren't going to vote just for the opposition 2 years from now or 4 years from now. We have to show a path forward. And because we're not only out of the White House, but we're also out of the Senate and the House, like we don't have anything in Washington, then the only way we can derail the worst parts of his agenda is to actually peel off some Republican votes. And that means that when Trump puts up some extremist policy, like deporting millions and millions of Americans, we have to have a compromise policy that Republicans can actually vote for.
Like deporting criminals.
Deporting criminals, maybe. But if you say we don't deport anyone, then you're not going to get a single Republican vote, and you get to stand on a pedestal and say, hey, we're right and Donald Trump is wrong. But guess what? That doesn't do anything for the people who get deported because Trump wins at the end of the day. Republicans win. So if you care about winning as a Democrat, if you actually want to win in a couple years, but you also want to have some wins in the meantime when Trump tries to do terrible things, then you've got to find a way to have compromise solutions that can peel off Republican votes.
I get the sense that what makes you different as a Democrat is that you will say these things out loud. Because we had you on before the first of the year at a time when you had talked about whether you wanted your young daughters playing on sports teams as they got older with young men who identified as women. You got a lot of heat for it. And you said, there's so many people who are coming to me and saying, thank you for bringing this up, but then won't say it publicly. The only member of Congress, I think right now, who's with you publicly on this is John Fetterman.
That might be the case, but I mean, literally just today, I had meetings with leaders of the Equality Caucus, and they were extremely positive because they said, we have to have these conversations. And they thanked me for actually bringing this up. So, you know, look, I'm not going to go into details because these are confidential meetings. But the point is that more and more Democrats are coming around and realizing that we can't represent the American people if all we do is preach at them and tell them they're wrong.
Okay, so let's go through. Immigration, and I'm going to be broad in this, right? Okay, we may not deport everybody, but deport criminals. Okay.
Well, I mean, look, there are nuances to this, right?
Right, but okay, so I'm just going through these
and
immigration,
also strengthen border security at the same time.
Girls and boys sports
have reasonable restrictions like the Olympics had. Now that doesn't mean it's going as far as some of these extremist versions of Republican bills like the one today. But yeah, the Olympics has restrictions. Are the Democrats going to cancel the Olympics? Crime. Yeah, crime is a problem. Stop saying that we should defund the police and that, you know, the police are the problem. And stop saying that, you know, we need to do that to protect minority communities. Because you know what? If you ask Black and brown Americans, you know what they say?
They're the ones who get hurt the most.
Yeah, they want more police in their communities. They want to be safer.
All right. This is an important question in terms of Democrats. And I think you're emerging as somebody who should be on this list. Survey asks, who leads the Democratic Party? This was a USA Today poll. I don't know if you saw this when you laughed. Okay, USA Today Suffolk University poll. Who leads the Democratic Party? 30% don't know. 19% nobody. We need to have the Congress's reaction as I read this, okay? 10% Vice President Kamala Harris, 9% Hakeem Jeffries. A handful of voters said former President Obama, Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi, Pete Buttigieg was there as well. I won't ask you to give me a name because I know you won't. What is the message the new leader of the Democratic Party has to have? That
we're going to change. And we're going to start by listening to Americans. We're going to meet you where you are. We're going to address concerns that matter to you, not preach from our pedestal in Washington or New York or wherever about what we think is important to us, but actually respond to what you need. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to stop being controlled by the extremists in our party, whether they're the interest groups, the lobbyists who come and say, hey, if you don't agree to this ideological straitjacket, then you're not a real Democrat. I mean, that's what I heard from some of the feedback. Oh, you can't be a Democrat if you would even question whether transgender women should play on women's sports teams, right? And We've got to stop that. So we've got to fundamentally show the American people that we lost the election and we're willing to change.
Good to see you. Thank you, Congressman. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.